Hello, and thank you for clicking on my video. I'm Kate. This is my channel, Life with Kate, where I am making movements to create financial security, stability, and a life I love. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing my weekly expense check-in for my first week of January. So it's January 5th to the 11th. So let's go ahead and get started. So my pay for this week from my 9-to-5 job was $441. So for my rollover, I'm attempting a new budgeting method. I do have expenses saved 1 month ahead. So when I do my budget, I just want to budget my 9-to-5 paycheck. So I'll be zeroing everything else out. And then when I do my actual, I'll put in the actual amounts. So my pay was $441. My rollover when I started this week was $1,604. And then I did not earn any money from side hustles this week. In 2023, I have just started working on side hustles. I signed up for DoorDash. I'm creating movements to create some of my own businesses, a home-based baking business. And so those are new and fresh. Not a lot has gone into those yet. So I did not earn anything for side hustles for this week. So my total pay for this first week of January between my rollover and my paycheck, $441 plus $1,604. I started the month off with $2,045. So the reason I'm doing it this way is I decided that I wanted to track when the payments for the current month come out, as well as when I'm putting aside money for the next month. So my car loan did pull on the 5th. That is $174. My life insurance did pull on the 7th. That is $31. So I do round my numbers up. I just like whole numbers, so that's what works for me. And then, the car loan, Upstart, which is a personal loan, my Apple Card, my Capital One card, and the amount I put aside for subscriptions to cover the next month's bills. These are the minimum payments that I do every week. So I split it into 4 payments since I get paid weekly. So I put 44 in for CarMax. I put 88 in for Upstart. I put 10 in for my Apple Card. I put 21 in for my Capital One card. So the Capital One card, this is just to meet the monthly minimum payments because I do carry a balance on this card currently. That is one of my moves. That's the first debt I'm hoping to get rid of. I'm hoping 6 months max. So it's a little scary, like, oh my goodness, but I think it'll motivate me. But right now I'm just setting aside for the monthly minimum. So my subscriptions, when I split that into 4, I do have several subscriptions. It's 26. So I did set aside $50 for AAA. I share a AAA membership with a family member. It did renew in January. The family member has not yet given me the amount that I owe them, so I actually did not pay anything for AAA for the 5th through the 11th. Okay. I did put $10 into my tax envelope. This is to pay when I file my taxes. And then my car insurance, I do pay 6 months at a time, so I'm saving up for when my car insurance renews. So I did put $10 in for that. Okay. So in total, my bills were $174 plus 31 plus 44 plus 88 plus 10 plus 21 plus 26 plus 10 plus 10. So my bills, I did pay $414. And if you have not seen this workbook yet, this is the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook. This workbook is from her 2022 release. I purchased this book later in the year, which is why I still have months left. I know for 2023 she did do an online, so once this book is done, I'll probably purchase the online version, or I might try some new methods. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. All right, so 2045 minus the 414 leaves me with 1631. Okay. All right, so for beauty, I had budgeted $20. I do live in Northern California. As you may or may not know, it's been extremely stormy here. For pretty much all of January so far, I've been sticking fairly close to home, so I actually did not spend anything on beauty. I hadn't budgeted anything on eat out. I'm very happy to say I managed to stay within that budget, so that was $0. For fun, I had $20 that I had rolled over. I didn't budget anything, so I didn't add anything to it. I still had the $20. I did not spend that $20, so that's $0. So I still have 20 in fun. Okay, so for gas, I did do gas. So my gas, I spent $35. I budget $60 a week. I rarely use $60 a week, but gas prices had been fairly high here in California, so I keep it at that amount in case gas prices go back up. Also, since I recently signed up for DoorDash, I want to make sure that I keep that a minimum 60 so that I can fill up whenever I need. Depending how much DoorDashing I do, I may need to increase that in future, but right now the 60 works for me. Okay. For groceries, I had rolled over 60 from the week before this. And then, so I spent that money. And then I refilled and put 60 in for this week, but I did not purchase any groceries this week, so that was $0. I didn't budget anything for miscellaneous. I didn't spend anything for miscellaneous. I didn't budget anything for shopping. I didn't spend anything for shopping. So it was a total of $35 out of my cash envelopes. So my gas does go on credit card, but what I do is I take the money out in cash and then I pay myself back. So let's go ahead and take that $35 out because I'm not going to lie. If I don't do it now, I'm probably going to forget. So 20, 35. So I did have some rollover from the previous week. So I have 20, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. I have 50 left in gas, which is good news for me because when I do my budget for this coming week, I will either have plenty if I add 60 or I can add less and then put the difference somewhere else. That's a choice I haven't quite made yet. So let me go ahead and put this money. So this is my back to bank envelope. This is anything I put on credit card. If it's something I pull out in cash, I pull the cash to put back in the bank to cover my credit card payment. Okay. So 1631 minus 35 is 1596. And then 1596. All right, so for my baking business, I did budget $46. I had $100 left over at the end of December that I was budgeting for my baking business. Some of that went on credit card. I made a purchase of some packaging that I want to use. And then I also purchased some other things. So I went ahead and I spent $17 on the packaging. So let's go ahead. This is my side hustle envelope, just because that's how I decided to split it up for now. So let's go ahead and pull out 17. So 10, 15, 16, 17. And then I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 left. That does not equal the 46. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I'm not sweating it because I know that I'm okay. I do have a cushion in my 1 month ahead, so I'm not worried about the fact that that didn't balance out, but I am hoping to balance that out for next week because I like when everything adds up to what it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and put that in my back to bank. Alright, so I need to put 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52 back in the bank to cover expenses I put on my credit card this week. Alright, so car maintenance is a sinking fund that I have. I went ahead and I put $10 in that. Christmas, I've already started saving for because I'm hoping to up my Christmas 2023 budget to $500. I had budgeted less for Christmas 2022 and it didn't go as far as I had hoped, so I'm hoping to up it this year. So I did put $2 in. For gifts, I did put in $5. I'm hoping to have gifts up to $100 by the end of January because I have several birthdays and then of course Valentine's Day in February. Right now I've only got $5, so I'm hoping to be able to put more in the next 3 weeks. Self-care, I do always put 25 in. That's kind of like a crucial for me. I almost consider it a bill. All right, so 17 plus 10 plus 2 plus 5 plus 25 equals 59. All right, so 1596 minus 59 equals 1537. All right, so I did not make any extra payments towards my Capital One card, which is the only credit card I have which currently has a balance. So that was 0. All right, and then when I budgeted out, these are priorities for me, but they're lower priorities, so I did not budget anything for those. All right, so my rollover should be 1537. Actually, that should be, but my checking account is less. I'm not quite sure why. It's part of why I started this budgeting journey, is to figure out why my numbers don't match so that I can stop stressing. So, but I did have all of my expenses covered for this first week in January. I do have money left in the bank to finish pay my bills for the rest of the month. And then, so I feel good about, I'm not sure where I got off because I believe my balance is about a couple $100 less in my checking account. So that it might have been because I did have an extra debt payment towards Capital One that I paid at the end of December that hit later. That's something I would have to go back and check. So I apologize that my numbers didn't quite match, that I didn't quite do the zero-based budget because I am a zero-based budgeter, but I had put stuff in the wrong spot. So let's do, and then that would be 0. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my stumbling over reconciling my expenses for the first week in January. If you would like to watch more content from me, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I hope that all of your dreams, hope, and intentions come true for 2023. Have a lovely day.